YouTubers, Baldrhino here with a little bold prediction video. I am not Filmington in any way. I am not good looking, rich, or really smart, but I'm going to give this a run. I've always thought that this would be kind of fun to kind of make a video and then look back on it and see how it turned out. So these are not really bold predictions, they're Baldrhino predictions. So let's see how they turn out here. So the first is I would be an absolute buyer of anything Mike Trout. Obviously that feels or sounds predictable, but there's been an evolution in Mike Trout. His comments regarding the Astros were very interesting. It was one of the first times he kind of stepped up and said, hey, you know, that hurt the game. And he was kind of an ambassador to the game, and that's only going to inflate his persona, his popularity, and draw people into the hobby. You know, maybe he'll be like LeBron, or even more so, just kind of taking charge and protecting the game. So I've always bought him, but I would really start doing that now. Vlad Jr., I would buy Vlad Jr. You're kind of betting that are all the scouts that said that he was the greatest single contact hitter they'd ever seen, are they wrong? Because there's tremendous value in his cards if you think that he will do well, which I do because his team is excellent. And he should prosper whether the ball's still juiced or not. So I would be a buyer of Vlad Jr. Again, these are my opinions only, and they're worth nothing other than entertainment value. PSA will continue to do what they're doing. Unless there's an event where collectors are harmed financially or the company is harmed as a result of the things that they are doing. So I'd like to say that SGC will provide competition to PSA, but I don't see it happening. But I hope it does. I hope Filmington's right, because that would be spectacular for the hobby. But again, right now, I just don't see anything that would be a catalyst to hurt PSA unless it were, one, collectors starting losing money, and two, the company. Now, their stock price is something to watch. Has dropped quite a bit, but who knows? My next bold prediction is the ball will fly again. Major League Baseball has a major stain on it from the Astros. I mean, people who don't even follow baseball are just so like, oh God, you watch baseball, those people are cheaters, and the Astros were cheaters, and you know, they did tremendous harm to the sport. And so right now that ball is going to be juiced and flying. And one of the things that'll be really interesting is that they could play to empty stadiums to start. So will that make the pitchers better, or will that make the hitters better? I really don't know, but it's kind of weird to be playing to silence. I think it might actually help the pitchers, but who knows? Who knows? Another prediction is that it's going to be a long and painful year for the Astros. You know, I coached and umped for years, and you know, these kids are people who get into the batter's box afraid of the ball, or hoping or thinking that they're going to get hit or the ball's going to come near them. And it's really hard to hit unless you have that fearless mentality, and those Astros are not going to be able to settle into the box. In fact, I would argue that the pitchers are probably going to try to establish the inside part of the zone very early and often, because I think umpires are going to allow them a little flexibility there. So it's going to be a long year, long year, particularly for guys who probably are not that great at hitters and were really benefiting from the signal stealing. Don't sell PSA 10s. The reason for that is PSA is not the same anymore. Whether it be their investigations or whatever they're having to do with the subpoenas or whatever, they are grading cards so much harder. So if you have a PSA 10 of a parallel or a rarer type of card, you need to ask a significant premium and don't give in, because they're not giving 10s anymore. I just can't even believe how much different it is now. And then, unfortunately, it will take a long time for the market to adjust to show value to 9s. So you're kind of stuck either way, but get premium dollar if you are selling a 10, because the PSA 10 and the scarcity and the difficulty of obtaining it, I don't think is priced into the market at this time. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I see it. And then, you know what? Vintage, your old friend. It's worth visiting him again. Vintage is just so fun. Reminds you of the good old days. The cards are valuable. They're historic and they're worth collecting. They're scarce. So think about, you're going to see a drop in prices at some point if this virus continues to erode disposable income and wealth. So go do what you love, visit what you love. Don't try to make money from it, because you're really chasing your tail, particularly right now. And then here's the buy list. I would be buying Michael Kopech. I don't know if you saw the kid come out and throw 4 pitches over 100 miles an hour the other night. Unbelievable. Soto, Ohtani, Rendon, obviously Vlad Jr., and any White Sox player. I think Luis Robert is going to be special coming out of the gate. I could be wrong, but I just, so much tape on him, looks like Jimenez, just incredible. So I would also sell Tatis. It kills me to say that because I have so much Tatis exposure. But, yeah, he's just a super athlete. He's kind of like a finely tuned racehorse. You're going to get injuries, and I just don't know if he can play long enough to make it worthwhile. But you never know. God, I hope so. He's so fun to watch. Acuna, I would sell. Torres, I would sell. Can't play the Orioles all the time. And then I would sell any Astro that I had. I just feel like that cloud will be over the entire career of Altuve, the entire career of Bregman. And there's always going to be a doubt as to how good of players they really were. And that's what they deserve. And so lastly, again, I would think that this coronavirus thing would be a temporary buying opportunity, particularly of raw cards, because people might be more willing to deal because, again, it's affecting disposable income and wealth. But I'll end this silly video with one story. My dad went into the World War II at 17 years old, and he would tell me all the time how terrified he was regarding having to fight the Germans and how serious that would be. And he didn't know where he would go, what would happen. And so we've been through tough times. We'll get through it together. So thanks for watching the Baldrhino, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment away. Take care.